Hello and welcome to Game Dev Weekly, that weekly show where I go through my game development process every single week. And this week I've got a bit of emplacements, I got a bit more Substance Painter, and I got loot boxes, but the good kind of loot boxes. And starting off, I'm going to go through my finances. And this is because a month ago I actually released my first game, The Scuttle. You can find that on Steam, link in the description below. And I want to talk about how much a game developer actually makes from each copy is sold. I'm going to go through my breakdown of my sales report. I'm not going to go through my exact sales report, just a hypothetical one. And just as a disclaimer, I'm not an expert. Alright, so this is what my monthly sale report looks like. For our hypothetical game, we're going to give it 100 gross units sold. So that is the total amount of units that the game has sold regardless of returns. And we're going to price this guy at around $10. Obviously sales and stuff can change the figures, but we're just going to say it's made $1,000. I've spoken to a few developers and it seems like around your returns are generally around the 10 to 20% mark, just because Steam is so lenient with returns. So we're going to give that 15 returns right there, and that's going to equal minus $150 right there. So our net sales at the end will be 85, and that means the gross amount is 1,150. Your VAT is at 11.5. That is 132.25. All of those together come to 1017.75. And then next you got a Steam fee. And this Steam fee is a 30% fee for your sales. So that comes to 30% is minus 5.33, and then the net profit is 712.43. So you can see already, just from the amount right here, we've got pretty much 30% down already just from fees. You know, 30% is quite a lot of sales. I get, you know, other industries it's not a lot at all, but and then luckily enough for me, because I'm British, I have to actually change my pounds into dollars. So my bank actually charges a £7.77, kind of depending on the exchange rate. They change that quite often, but last time I did it was at that. So that means my actual transaction that I actually get into my bank would be hypothetically about 700. So that is 30% gone already. And then I just change it to dollars. Last time I changed it, it was at 1.33, and that equals 529.78. So I just wanted to show you guys as maybe an eye-opener of how much a game developer actually makes from their total number of units sold to the actual amount of money that they get out of the bank, able to pay their overheads and their staff. Starting off this week, I'm going to be working on some Imagery Systems, mainly picking up items. So I've got some sandbags here which make the sandbag walls. I'm going to select this unit, and down here is the buttons that you would use to place sandbags. I've got another one set up here for barbed wire for later on. So once I pick up one of these items, it updates right here, so tell me I've got one item. And now it's telling me I've got 2 items. If I spawn another AI and get him to pick up these 2, and then select both units at the same time, it'll tell me I've got 4 to place down. The next thing I've been working on is being able to place the sandbags down. So if I get my character to pick one up and I try and place one down, now to rotate it, I've had a few different methods of this. I thought maybe if it follows the camera's rotation, it might be a good idea, but I might change that out later. Anyway, so he places it down, let's place it over here, and then he runs to go and make it. So I'm just finishing up some code on how the sandbags work. So if I just get this guy to pick up another one, and he places it down, and now it's built. And when it's built, you can actually see that he can take cover behind it. And the way this works is it uses a behavior tree. So here on the right side is the behavior tree, and this basically tells the AI what to do when it's given certain variables. So the way this works is if the AI has got an emplacement to put down, then it starts this sequence. And the sequence first finds the location where the emplacement is, it moves towards it, then it increases the build progress on that, and then when the progress is complete, then it fires off a function which basically changes the aesthetics, the collision, the material. So let's show that in action. So here I am just placing it down. He moves towards it, increases the progress, and then it's finished. And you can see it changes the material once it's finished. Today I'm going to be working on the loot boxes, and I know what you're thinking. It's not the kind of microtransaction loot box you're thinking of. It's a loot box you can find in the world. It's got weapons, ammo, and items in it. Alright, that is one loot box finished. So I've created a new test area to see what these new models look like inside, which will be located inside the town. And I've been working on the loot box. So if I select the character, I kind of piggybacked off of the item selection. If you remember, when you click an item, the character runs over to get it. In this, they run over to get it, but instead of picking it up, they interact with it. So to start off the system, I just created the ability to move towards the object. So if I click the guy and click the item. So next I need to make the UI for the inventory inside of the box. So this is the player's HUD. This is the inventory panel here that when you check out the AI's inventory, it starts out hidden, but right here you can see it unhidden. So I essentially just need to create the same thing as this, but instead of pulling the AI's inventory, I need to pull the box's inventory. Just clicked off him. Right. So I've just added the functionality for putting items into the crate and taking them out. Let's take a look. So I just picked up a sandbag. Move over here. So this is my inventory here, and this is the inventory inside of that crate. Click it once. I'll move across. Click it, and move it back. Then I can use the item. That's going to do it for this week. If you want to see more, then subscribe to my channel. I've also got a Discord group with quite a few people in there. The links are all in the description. Also, follow me on Twitter, and I will see you guys next week.